It's about having a bespoke service rather than a one-size-fits-all service.
A workforce that is more inspired, a public that is more trusting.
Reoffending's been reduced and the feedback from frontline officers has been absolutely magnificent.
I think we're all very interested in using this system and keeping the system going.
The four-force pilot came about from the review of policing that was commissioned by the Home Secretary and carried out by Sir Ronnie Flanagan. And during the review it became very apparent that there was just too much bureaucracy tying officers down with administration, with a lot of crimes that really should be better dealt with through way of street encounter or street restoration.
Staffordshire, Leicestershire, Surrey and the West Midlands were the four forces that took up the challenge of exploring an alternative to the sanction detection performance culture. Supported by the National Policing Improvement Agency, the four forces were given the green light by the Home Office to develop a more customer-focused way of policing. Acting Sergeant Steve Mee is the neighbourhood beat officer in Longton. Much of his time is spent on incidences of low-level criminal damage caused by children with nowhere to go and nothing to do.
Hi, Paul.
Steve,
you all right?
good to see you.
And you, good. Are things all right?
Nice and quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to sort of go back a few months and just tell me basically about the problems that occurred at the church and
Yeah,
what went on?
I suppose it all started with my sort of open door policy.
Yeah.
You know, there's nowhere for kids to go around here. And I got a patch of grass at the back and it's safe, and I'd rather they played football on there than on the edge of the main road.
Yeah.
So the back of the church started off as a playground, but of course little lads grow into big lads, and the fun started then, because stones are ideal missiles for windows, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think they were actually aiming at the big window at the top, but they can't reach it, thank God. The tiles are getting broken, and to be honest, the insurance company are getting a bit sick and tired of paying up.
Yeah, yeah. Was there a number of windows smashed at the side, I think, was there? One or two at the side?
Yeah,
as well?
there were some windows put through in the hall. What really hurts me, Steve, what really hurts is that I've been the vicar here for 15 years now, and all of these kids I've brought through school and had through Sunday school and the youth club. I've baptised most of them, and they know who I am, but it never registers to them that they're hurting me.
Yeah.
They just see something to break.
Can you just tell me why you didn't want me to press charges and basically criminalise the kids?
I don't want them to see me as an enemy in any sense. But then on the other hand, I've got a responsibility to help them grow up to be good, law-abiding, responsible citizens. If I go down the road of criminalising them, I'm putting my foot on the road of making them enemies. And that's the last thing I want. All I want is to sort the kids out. And really even the vandalism is second to that. The future of the children is what matters to me.
I think this is about proportionality, isn't it? That most of this initiative is targeted at what we described as local crime.
If you've got a very minor offence for a person who's never committed an offence before, then you should be allowed to use your discretion, your professional judgment in how you deal with that.
This is not about serious crime where the criminal justice system quite properly kicks in to make sure that people receive punishment and the public receive protection. This is really aimed at the huge swathe of local crime, where if we were honest with ourselves, the outcomes rarely enter the criminal justice system.
It's about, applying the right level of administration, the right level of response to the type of incident you're dealing with, but more importantly, making sure that victims and the community are right at the centre of it.
I think the school have helped greatly as well, haven't they?
School have been
Glaston
great help.
School, yeah.
Yeah.
So we went into there with myself and the PCSO, went in, gave them a talk for about 2 hours through a number of classes, 8 to 11-year-olds, spoke to them about criminal responsibility, criminal damage.
That's right.
And then after that, I think we had about 10 kids come forward and let me know, and we came up with 6 offenders, didn't we?
I think
for all
the real stroke of genius was on your part. When you made those culprits write a letter to me and bring it personally to my front door, and you said to him, if he's not in, you'll have to go back again.
Made them all write out a full side of A4 lined paper, which I did stress, rather than just plain paper, because they could write 6 words and the paper would be full. By doing it that way, they've got to think about what they're writing.
And they came one by one to my front door. One kid even put a fortnight's pocket money in to help pay for the damage. And that sort of personalised it somehow. It made them realise that they were hurting their friends.
All the children had some other form of punishment. One lad came and assisted with cleaning up for a whole weekend. Some were grounded for a week or 2 of the holidays, gardening, cleaning up, a number of things. It's probably far worse than they get by just coming to see us and a quick slap on the wrist.
I grounded him, totally grounded him for a week.
Yeah.
And then I barred him from the park for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But he stayed away anyway after that for a bit.
Yeah.
He's just started to come back now and again now.
Yeah.
But I think the way it was dealt with was absolutely brilliant. It was better than, because I think they all wanted to go in to follow the Paul himself, handing it over to the victim. I thought that was bob on.
I think the culprits now look on us as friends.
Yeah.
They don't run away when you appear, and they don't run away when I appear.
Yeah.
And I think, in the best sense of the word, we put the fear of God into them.
Yeah.
We're not about criminalising society, it's about educating young people, and for me the key is prevention in the future.
Police officers join this organisation to make a difference to people's lives. They are in general very much driven by a vocational desire to serve, and so I think all you have to do in leadership terms is to create space for them, and if you create that space then they will fill it positively in terms of victims.
I think it's fair to say previously officers have been like robots, very black and white. Somebody commits an offence, you must arrest them, you must bring them into custody, and then they'll follow the criminal justice system. This gives us an opportunity to deal with victims, get the victim's point of view, gives the officer an opportunity to show some flair really and some creativity.
It gives you your own brain, your own mind to use, rather than being sort of forced into a corner and thinking, well, this is something so petty. However, I know this is now going to tie me up for 6 hours. I've got to lock them up, deal with them, go and get further statements, and it can tie up for a full day, even longer for something petty. Whereas now, a couple of statements, full pocket notebooks for the parents, tell them what they've got to do, give them a time frame to do it in, and basically Bob's your uncle. The job's done.
Well, the only constant in all of this is change.
We are letting go a little of the sort of performance tools that we have thought to be really important.
If you strip out all of the things from our systems and processes and the way that we organise ourselves that add no value to what it is we're seeking to achieve, then you can invest that in providing a more secure and safe society.
The confidence comes from the fact that for the couple of years that this has been going in Staffordshire and the West Midlands, actually performance in other areas has not deteriorated.
I think we've got to reassure colleagues in the criminal justice system, our magistrate colleagues, our Crown prosecution colleagues, that this isn't just about cutting paperwork for the sake of it. This genuinely is about preventing crime happening again, reducing offending, and making sure that victims have a higher level of satisfaction. And since we've started this pilot in Leicestershire, all of those have been fulfilled. The confidence level has risen, reoffending has been reduced, and the feedback from frontline officers has been absolutely magnificent. So I'd quite like to see it expand faster than it is at the moment, because the Home Office, ministers, everybody involved in youth justice and criminal justice have given us the green light to do this. The only people that now need to step through the gap are, guess who? The police service.